Hello students, in last class we have seen how to draw pipe earthing and plate earthing in details. In this session we are going to learn very important and essential part every student has to know, that is circuit breakers. What is the purpose of circuit breakers? Before going to our topic, what is the necessity of circuit breaker? You know that in our houses, to switch on our fan or tube light, any gadget, we require the switch. The switch is used to on or off our electrical circuit. In our domestic, we have the 5 amperes switch as well as the 15 ampere switch for the power loads. Dear students, sometimes you can observe the small arc may be appeared inside the back side of the switch. That means whenever current carrying conductor suddenly opened or break or choked, there is a possibility to the arc may be appeared between the two contacts. This arc is a very high has a high temperature, nearly 3500 degrees centigrades. It is unavoidable as well as undesirable also. This type of the switches cannot be used in some chemical industries, gas plants. Dear students, in our domestic, we are using the only lighting loads and power loads. You can observe the arc appeared when we operated switch. But in case of if you are operated nearby your street DTR, pole mounted or plinth mounted, you can observe while closing or opening up AB switch at substations, there is a large amount of the arc may be appeared. That is for only for your street and second 2 streets or 3 streets load. But in case of the total town, big town, total city, if you are operated the switch at a time, you can expect how much of the arc may be appeared. That is undesirable. Hence we require some specialized breakers is required. Once we are, as per our laws, once we are make or break the contacts, there is maybe arc may be appeared. That arc may be we have to quenched, nullified immediately with the help of some medias. Whether you are going to use oil, gas or anything, we are going to suppress. Based on this one, we classified breakers also. I think you have learned in our power system chapters. Let us see some circuits, how the circuit is closed, how the electrons will flow in a small circuit. Once I open the switch, what is the impact on the circuit? Let us see. Dear students, so we are going to learn about this MOCB circuit breakers, minimum oil circuit breaker. Before that one, we have the BOCB, that is the brother of MOCB, bulk oil circuit breaker. You can see this one simple low voltage circuit just represented to our domestic, where it has a small voltage source. You can see here, this is a small voltage source, DC source. Here a small lighting load and source and load. In between we require the protective equipments and operating equipments. Here the switch is operating equipment and fuse is the protective equipment, because we know that our electricity is a bad master, a good slave. Now we can see this how the operation takes place in a small circuit. Now I close the switch, the current is passing through the closed circuit. Then so based on the current circulation through the load where bulb is glowing. Okay, now if I open this one, some short circuit occurred. If the line in the whole circuit anywhere it fallen on the ground, the current will flows to the ground. That means in previously before the fault, whatever the current is leaving from the positive terminal, passing through the switch, fuse and our load, and entered the negative terminal as per the KCL, Kirchhoff current law. Sum of the current is leaving equal to sum of the current entering. But while it anywhere in the circuit in loop, if fault occurred, some of the current is passing through ground as a fault. In that case, the current which is flowing to the, in this condition comparing to the previous condition, is very high. We can say that is a fault current. Due to this fault current, our fuse may not be sustained. It may heated takes place instantaneously, then it will blow. If the switch is blow, then the circuit is open circuit, then the current is stopped, such a way that we are protecting the small circuit. This is a small circuit, already you know, dear students. Suppose in case of this is a small circuit in case of our in our distribution system or in our power system. How this can be operated? Same situation, but we are using some help of some mechanism. You can see the mechanism of circuit breaker. This circuit breaker consists of same method, but in case of the switch, I can use some circuit breaker. What will happen? Under normal, it consists of load, it consists of supply. You can see this is a supply. You can take AC supply. Let us assume this is a phase, this is a neutral. Under normal condition, the current comes here, flows, and circuit is closed, current is flowing this direction. So there is no open circuit, the current is continuously flows due to the load. Under this load, the current is flowing is, for example, take the 50 amperes. The 50 amperes flowing through this one, and here I connected the one instrument transformer CT. The CT is a 500:1 ampere ratio I connected. Whenever the 50 amperes flowing in primary and 1 ampere current flows in secondary. So when 1 ampere flows here, so it cannot operate such a way that I have some mechanism, gear and lever mechanism I provided here. If under normal condition, so 50 amperes full load current flows, 1 ampere flows here, the flux is developed here such a way that it cannot operate the mechanism as usual. Then whatever here is a fixed contact, this here is the moving contact, both are closed. You can see here the current which is coming through the circuit happily flows through the load. This is under normal condition. Dear students, if I opened the fixed and moving contacts purposefully, then what will happen? You can see. Now you can see I open this one. Moving contact is moved away from the fixed contact with the help of my mechanism. Then what will happen? So there is a arc occurred, hence the circuit is opened. Then there is no current in the circuit. This arc may be having a high intensity. Due to the high intensity, you can observe the tips of these two fixed contact and moving contact carbonized, melted, some tips of these electrodes, but it is not desirable. Hence I required whenever the arc is appeared, I am going to nullify immediately with help of my media. So based on this media, I can classify the breakers. Just a bit later we will discuss classification of breakers. So dear students, this is another technique used in our distribution system, and you can see in details how our in power system, in substations, our breakers, whether it is oil circuit breakers, SF circuit breakers, air blast circuit breakers, vacuum circuit breakers, all are same operation, but media which is used to nullify the arc is different. Now you can see another, this is the total fully consist of all equipments. So instrument transformers are both the potential transformer as well as the current transformers. These are the two eyes of relays. The relay will sense the abnormal conditions in our circuit by observing our electrical characteristics like voltage, current, power factor, phase angle, active power, reactive power, etc., etc. And this can always monitor under normal conditions. So based on these conditions, it will give the signal to our mechanical strong breaker. The breaker mechanism will operate the signal from the relays. When it will use, whenever the system abnormal conditions arise, then our relay will give the signal to the breaker, so you have to open the circuit. Under this condition, there is an arc may be occurred. That arc can be easily quenched with help of our media. So dear students, same thing you can see. So this is a mechanism in details for easy understanding purpose, and this is a PT to know what is the voltage of the circuit. It is a CT, you know what is the current flowing through this one, the PT ratio and CT ratio. So already we learned in power system. Now you can see this is a one trip contact mechanism where it can operate it based on this fault current. Now this mechanism will operate, it's a moving this direction and this direction based on the signal from this relay contact, where this is a DC supply in our substations. It can operate our mechanism, move mechanism, simple mechanism. Now the current is flowing through the load. Let us assume this is a one domestic. Here the current is continuously flows. Now you can see before fault occurred, what will happen? So now the current is passing through the load, circuit breakers, CT and PT. Under this condition, whatever the CT current, secondary ratio of CT flowing through the continuously in our trip coil, where it unable to pull the trip contacts upper side, thereby the no closing of our battery to the trip mechanism. Now I want to make some fault nearby my load center. It anywhere you can take from starting to ending in a circuit. Then what will happen? It will automatically the fault current is very very high and the current will flows. Now you can see the dear students. So under normal condition, the circuit is ideal condition without any fault. The current is coming and going. Now I purposefully making one fault nearby my load. What will happen? You can see there is no battery. Now in this condition, battery is open circuit, and whatever the secondary current of CT unable to pull the trip contacts towards upper side. Now I provided the one fault at near load. At that condition, what will happen? The trip contacts which is pulled towards the upper side, then battery circuit is closed. Now what will happen? This is the circuit is closed, battery current is flowing through the trip mechanism. The trip mechanism operated, it tried to open during this process there is a arc is appeared. Okay, once again you can see what is happened here. Okay, now you can see under normal condition. Now I am going to place, now I am going to purposefully made one fault. Now I made the fault here. At that condition this is closed and the trip mechanism operated and there is an arc is appearing, you can see. That is automatically nullified with the help of media present inside the circuit breaker. Then total circuit is opened. So there is no feeding to the fault point, that is we required. This is a mechanism of our circuit breaker, dear students, whether it may be any type of the circuit breakers which is used in our distribution system or in transmission system, in power system, anywhere. Okay, so let us see what are the circuit breakers classified. You know that the classification of circuit breakers, at a glance you can see the breakers are classified into based on the different factors. What are those factors? One is the based on the location, we classified the breakers into indoor type and outdoor type. At the same time we can take the another factor based on the voltage and another factor based on the media which is used to nullify my arc. These are the three factors I am going to consider to classify breakers in my power system. Now based on the location, so where I am going to use my breaker, whether indoor or outdoor. Whether if you are using the indoor, so the less than 36 kVA is the maximum capacity I can use in the indoor circuit breaker. So more than the 36 and up to 63 kVA where I can use a outdoor. So that means greater than 63 kVA, 130 kVA, 220 kVA, 400 kVA, 765 kVA. So these breakers can be used in substation yards. Okay, so this is based on the location, dear students. Now based on the voltage, it may be low voltage where I can use the breaker capacity, breaking capacity 1 kilovolts, 1 kV, 1000 volts, and medium voltage, so where I can use this capacity is 52 kVA, 52 voltage. Now here I can use the high voltage up to, we can use that is a less than 220 kV breakers, and whereas extra high voltage EHT voltages, so greater than, so up to we can use a 765 kV. Next I can use more than that one ultra high voltage breaker, that is the greater than 765 kV, nearly 1200 kV also in our design. These are the classification of breakers based on the voltages. Now based on the medium, which type of the, whether you are using the solid medium, liquid medium, gas medium to nullify the arc. So here I can use the oil circuit breaker. Okay, I can use this type of the breakers up to 132 kV, and I can use the interesting breaker is the vacuum circuit breaker. So these breakers are mostly used up to 33 kV only in distribution system. And another type of the breaker also is the air blast circuit breaker. I can use more than 132 kV substation, EHT substations. And nowadays I can use the latest and very powerful breaker with the help of the sulfur hexafluoride is a inert gas used to quench this arc. So comparing to the all breakers, this is a superior breaker. So I can use from 3.3 kV to 765 kV. I can use this type of breakers. So these are the classification breakers, dear students, already you have learned in power system theory subject. Now today topic is the oil circuit breaker. Let us see the oil circuit breakers based on this breakers classified based on the oil. So let us see. So oil circuit breakers also classified based on the quantity, how much quantity you are going to use. So I can use the bulk oil circuit breakers. In this case I can use the nearly 5,000 liters of the oil, transformer oil. So this is used for the quenching of the arc as well as the cooling of the circuit. It's an insulating material. Just like this is nothing but it appears as a small telephone booth or some pawn dabba, you can say. In that, bulk oil circuit breaker is modified into the minimum oil circuit breakers. Only 10% of this breaker, bulk breaker BOCB used, I can use in this case. So I improved from BOCB to MOCB. That is also minimum oil circuit breakers. Then you can see the bulk oil circuit breaker also further classified based on the single break circuit breaker and double break circuit breakers. What is this one? So dear students, don't worry, this nothing but, so this is a circuit. This is a circuit. Under normal condition, the current is flowing. Once something happened, this is going this direction. So what will happen? Breaking takes place only here. Sometimes I can use two breaks also. That means I can use one mechanism from this one I connected here, from this one I connected here. That means this is a moving, this is a fixed one. If I move this direction, what will happen? It will comes here this direction and it is also coming this direction. So breaks takes place at two places, that is known as the double break circuit breakers. In this case only single break circuit breaker. So that is the basic concept, dear students. If you want to see the what is the BOCB, bulk oil circuit breaker, you want to see the how much this is the size. Let us say each phase near to the one telephone booth. Olden days this type of the breakers are used, and so that is a very costly maintenance and so many problems. You can see that is also. Now this is a one bulk oil breakers. In this case, this is the R phase, Y phase, B phase, each phase. So whatever the incoming is coming, and this mechanism is going to this one. If sudden happen in the arc, so this oil is going to quench this one. You can see the substations where we are going to use these breakers. Okay, is in 130 kV EHD substations. So this is a physical circuit breaker, but I want to, as I am the electrical students, I want to know the internal circuit diagram. As you know that here this is a insulating material, porcelain insulating materials. Inside I am using the dielectric oil, and at the same time, so here one is connected to the fixed contact, another is connected to the moving contact. And so there is a arc quenching device also used in breakers sometimes. You can see this electrical circuit, how it will appear in our electrical point of view. Let us see. So this is a breaker, dear students. You know, so how there's some total body, it consists of what it consists? It consists of the conductor, that's aluminum ACSR conductor, and it has the bushings, it has the fixed contact, it has a moving contact, it is a dielectric oil, and it is the arc. It's a red color, you can see, or the arc occurred during the operation. And this is a tank, oil tank, which is to be earthed. So this is a one breaker. So further you want to know, so what is the mechanism takes place inside while operating in double break and single break. Let us see with this figure. Now dear students, this is a bulk oil circuit breakers. So in this case you can see previously we discussed here what will happen. This is a fixed contact, this is a moving contact. So you can see this is a moving contact, can be operated up and down. There is a mechanism under normal condition. So these two are, so here this is a closed path. Under condition one, it's moved this direction. So these are the two, there is no arc, and this fixed contact and moving contact is close each other. Then whatever the input comes here, that will goes directly here. This is a basic idea. Now once I given the relay signal to my signal from the relay to my circuit breaker, it will move this direction. Then what will happen? It will comes forcefully, the moving contacts come this direction. So whenever current carrying conductor choke, there is an arc is occurred, you can see. So the arc, it consists of the high temperature, sometimes you can say hydrogen also. So this arc can be quenched with the help of my oil media. How it will quenches? So due to the high temperature, whatever the oil surrounding the arc absorbed and decomposes and evaporates it creates some gas, some vapor. So this gas is tried to escape due to the decomposition of the oil, but there is no path for escaping. Then what will happen? So at the top of the tank, there is a high pressure is developed. This gas is tried to move the oil surrounding the arc on the arc. That by is a puffing, or so suddenly it is a force appeared on the arc. Arc cannot be sustained. As we know that arc can be sustained, so we require the heat is required. Next require the air is required. Next we require the fuel is required. So 3, if continuous available, the arc may be sustained for that time. So our aim is to cut off these things to nullify the arc. Here I am going to use, there is no air presence inside. I am going to puffing with my oil. At the same time, whatever the temperature present in the arc is absorbed by my oil particles. That is the oil temperature decreasing. So we require the minimum temperature, heat is required to sustain the arc. Okay, so this can be explained in another that is in power system. Now we can see this is a single break. So in this case we know that arc can be quenched different methods, high resistance method and low resistance methods. And arc can be quenched by lengthening and by weakening. So here I can use some shooters are used. So these shooters can help to cool the arc by lengthening arc, cooling arc. So automatically the arc will quenches. The single break system, dear students. Okay, so let us see our today topic is the minimum oil circuit breakers. So you can see the big size, how the BOCB single or phase Y phase converted into the only simple one. You can see this figure. This is BOCB bulk oil circuit breakers to operate circuit. So you can here this is the R phase and Y phase and B phase 3 you can see here. So 3 are made into simple. So with help of my topic, that is a MOCB. Dear students, so this total arrangement, this one phase is equal to this one, only this one. You can see. So 10% of oil used in BOCB can be helpful to operate same conditions in my minimum oil circuit breaker, dear students. Let us see where we are going to use this type of the breakers in substations. So here so many videos are available in the YouTube, dear students. You can go through this one. So there is a one Sun Innovative. I taken the just fraction of seconds for see how the substation and where we are going to find these breakers. Let us see. You can see here. So my sincere thanks to this Sun Innovatives, the courtesy to those people. So this is a breaker mechanism, dear students. So it will receive the signal from the relays, instrument transformers. It can gives a signal to our breaker mechanism. Okay, inside mechanism, this is the total mechanism. On, off indicators, and this is the air blast circuit breaker. So olden days we are using the air blast circuit breakers. In place of air blast circuit breakers, we are going to use SFP circuit breakers better. You can see here, dear students, so our circuit breakers, you can see this is the one circuit breaker. Okay, so this is a one pole. You can see this is for only R phase. Similarly, you can see this is a Y phase. So it has a different the pole, that's a pole means for each phase based on the voltages. Okay, now you can see this at a glance. You can see the total substation. Dear students, you can see this is also okay, you can see total substation. So you can see this is also breaker mechanism. Every place there is a LV side, HV side, and for feeders we are going to use these breakers. Okay, so you can see at a glance our power system, substations, EHD substations. So this breaker, dear students, you can observe here. This is a oil circuit breakers. This is a BOCB, and this is a MOCB. Okay, let us see how we are going to draw this single limb in our drawing. Okay, let us see. Here we go. Okay, this is our electrical point of view. We are going to draw our MOCB. What it consists? It has different parts. You can see. What is the basic principle? You can see here. So here you can see this is also same thing physically. We have seen in substation how this each limb presents. Here you can see this is a R phase, this is a Y phase, this is a B phase. It consists of the oil level indicators at the top, and top terminals you can see, and this another chamber, here another chamber. This is a base, the mechanism for operating. Just now we have seen the mechanism operation. So you can see this is the indication of this is R phase, Y phase, and B phase. Dear students, it has the three portions mainly. So this is the top chamber, and this is the interrupting chamber, this is a supporting chamber. Okay, now same thing here is a just is a supporting purpose, so isolation purpose, and this is a interrupting chamber where this main operation takes place. This is a top chamber, it is a helpful. What is that one? We will see. Dear students, what is the basic principle of MOCB? This type of the circuit breakers is also called a small or poor oil circuit breakers. We are using only 10%. Uses a dielectric oil or transformer oil, which is a small percentage of oil, at least 10% of BOCB oil. This oil is mainly used for extinction of arc only. The arc interruption takes inside the interrupter. To improve the breaker performance, oil is injected into the arc to nullify. The interrupter container of the minimum oil circuit breaker made of insulating material and or insulated from ground, you can see previously. Now you can see here. So here there is a, so dear students, up to this portion, small portion, so we are going to use this supporting chamber, and up to this one I am going to use a interrupting chamber, and this is a top chamber. So this here there is a arc quenching device. The operation takes place inside. You can see this is a fixed one, this is a moving one. So fixed one is consists of this one, you can see here, and whereas a moving rod is going this one. So operation takes place inside only. The interrupter, you can say this is the interrupter. The interrupter container of minimum oil circuit breakers are made up of insulating material and or insulated from the ground. There is no ground connection. This is usually referred to as a live tank construction. For high voltages above 132 kV, the interrupters are arranged so in series for if voltage increases further and further. Why we are going to use these minimum circuit breakers comparing to the bulk circuit breakers? Because the large volumes of oil results in carbonization takes place in BOCB. At the same time, the clearance between the live ports and the enclosures is a minimum in this case. And the oil is mainly used for extinction of arc but not for the insulation in this case. Okay, small quantity of the oil is enough to operate. So dear students, this is a basic idea of salient points regarding to the MOCB. Now the construction point of view. So it consists of three chambers. One is the mainly the supporting chamber, or we can say low chamber. This is a supporting chamber. And so another is the circuit breaking chamber. So here from this to this I am going to the circuit breaking chamber. Actually breaking takes place in this area. And another is the upper chamber. You can see here this is known as the upper chamber. What is the purpose of this one? Let us see. Now in this lower chamber, act like a dielectric support from the ground. A 4-cylinder chamber mounted on a metallic chamber. You can see this is a metallic chamber filled with oil, which is physically separated this oil from this interrupting oil. The filled with the oil which is physically separated from the oil in the circuit breaking compartment. Now coming to the, because this is the only drawing purpose, I am going to skipping all things, dear students. Just I am giving the some 1-2 points. You can go through so many elaborated videos also available in YouTube. Now coming to the circuit breaking chamber. It is a 4-cylinder enclosure mounted on the top of the supporting chamber. It mainly consists of the upper and lower fixed two contacts. This is one contact, this is another contact. The moving contact and fixed contact. And at the same time there is a turbulator also provided. So that is known as the arc quenching device purpose I am going to use. Now then coming to the top chamber or upper chamber from this one. It is mounted on the circuit breaking chamber, top portion. It provides space for the expansion of the oil in the circuit breaking compartment. So during the decomposition of the oil, it prevents any loss of oil by centrifugal action, such a way that we provided is a dome shape. So this is a construction, dear students. What will happen? Under normal operating conditions, the moving contact remains in contact with the upper fixed contact, closed condition. When the fault occurs, the moving contact is pulled down, taking the signal from the relay contacts, relays, and mechanism operated comes downwards. Pulled down, and arc is struck between the fixed contacts and moving contacts. The arc energy vaporizes the oil and produces a high pressure inside the arc quenching device. This action provides the oil to pass through a central hole in the moving contact. The process of turbulation is that the arc is successively quenched by the effect of separation of streams of oil moving across each thing. So dear students, such a way that we are going to nullify the arc. Okay, so let us easy understanding purpose. I think you have this basic knowledge in the power system. Otherwise you can see the one animation, dear students. Don't panic, you can easily understand this operation. Just you see the animation. Okay, now your aim is to draw these things, dear students. So this is the one limb or limb only. Okay, your aim is to draw this thing. So for simplification, I have drawn this one. Okay, so I physically drawn with my hand same parts. Actually, this is a practical one. What it consists? You know, the top chamber, eye level indicators, terminals, fixed contact, moving contact, next arc extension device, you can see blue color, and drain valves. So frequently we require the maintenance, and supporting chamber, you can see, are all made of the porcelain, and operating rod, you can see here there is a signal, the red color and green color. So it indicates that the breaker is on position, off position for the operator in the substations. Okay, let us see the simple operation. Okay, so now let us take under normal condition. You can see here, so fixed contact here, top one, moving contact in bottom one, both are close each other. Under is small device, arc quenching device, blue color. Now you can see here the mechanism will operate now. It will give a signal from the relay system. The mechanism will operate. It will try to move the moving contact this direction. Then what will happen? So whatever the fixed contact is present here, but this rays will coming this direction. Then gap between the high voltages develops, arc is formed. Or the arc is phenomenon of the arc already we have known. Okay, so here just you see the operation, dear students. Now what will happen? So now under normal condition, so current is coming here, is going through this one. This is the input, that is the output. No arc between these two contacts. Under normal condition, under healthy condition system, thus the switch is closed. Now I want to forcefully make it break between the moving contact and fixed contact with help of my trip signal. Manually I can operate mechanism. So I am giving the signal to my mechanism, then it will operate. Then I opened, you can see the red color, breaker is open. Now it is opened. So what will happen? The fixed contact and moving contact is opened, the moving contact is coming slowly downwards. There is an air gap between the fixed contact and moving contacts, but what will happen? So it is instantaneously there is a high voltage developed in between the fixed contact and moving contact. There is a RRRV, rate of rise of voltage, is a very high, and due to this high voltage the induced in between the two contacts, this is enough to ionize the path in between the two fixed and moving contacts. Due to this one, the arc is developed. You can see the arc is formed between the two contacts. Once the arc is formed, so this due to the arc has a high temperature, the oil which is surrounding this arc quenching device observe and operates, decomposes, and that is pressure increased on the oil and puff the on which arc. At the same time, moving rod also goes downwards, such that the gap between the fixed contact and moving contact is arrived. In between our dielectric oil enters, no restriking voltage developed, no arc is formed. This condition is known as the open condition of circuit breaker. Okay, so this is a simple operation, dear students. You can see once again. So what will happen? Under normal condition, I closed this and the current is passing through the two contacts, fixed contact and moving contact. Once I am going to give the signal, my moving rod is coming towards the down, then air gap between the fixed and moving contacts is erased, then arc is formed. Okay, so this arc sustained for some 20 cycles, 10 to 20 cycles. Meanwhile, so we are going to develop the dielectric strength between the fixed and moving contacts. Once it is formed, it is a open condition. This is a operation, dear students. Okay, but our aim is not operation. In drawing, I am going to draw how we are going to start and where I have to start and where I have to end. That is our required. Let us see. Now you can say the draw first of all the supporting ear. Next draw this part. Next draw the lower chamber. Draw the interrupting chamber. Draw the top chamber. Okay, one by one you draw it. You have the drafter. So by seeing, you draw one by one chambers. Then provide the mechanism operation, and you can see the supporting lower mechanism with moving rod mechanism. Then place the fixed rod mechanism, and you place the arc quenching device. Then connect the two terminals, input terminals and output terminals. This is enough. Okay, this step by step you can draw it, dear students. I think no need to draw separately. Okay, so now after that, fill the oil in supporting chamber, fill in interrupting chamber. At the same time, the oil which is present inside the arc quenching device decomposes. Sometimes due to this one there is a carbonization takes place. Due to that one, I changed some color inside the arc quenching device. This is the total figure, dear students. Okay, so here your aim is to draw all things. Okay, so after that one, so you place some drain valves. So you have to remove the oil. You have to check the oil dielectric strength of the oil frequently. So that these are the draining valves. Okay, this is the final figure, dear students. Okay, so what to do? First you draw the supporting. Okay, this is a structure. We are going to earth it, on which we are going to use the, we are going to place, this is a mechanism on which you are going to place this interrupt, or otherwise you can directly write it one line and create some porcelain insulators. Okay, then you are going to provide some separation chamber, and you are going to provide some just like you can take it here, and provide the mechanism, the moving contact with some mechanism. Okay, so mechanism, it has this one arrangement. Then you are going to provide some fixed rod. Okay, so this is the fixed rod. You can see some mechanism, and provide the arc quenching device here. Inside there is a braking takes place, and connected to this one, top one, and take the output terminals. Then afterwards the top chamber, just you top chamber, you can write it. This is a insulating. So dear students, such a way that you can write it. Just you can see the cross sectional view of the MOCP, how it is considered. Simple, very simple. Okay, so after that you provide the drain vents here and here and here. Okay, so this is a good example how to draw this thing. Okay, same thing you can see. Now you are going to, once again you can see, this is one. After that, this one you draw this one lines, simple, and provide the porcelain material, separate interrupting chamber and supporting chamber and top chamber, and provide this required mechanisms. Okay, so over. After that you fill the draining oils. Okay, so this is a total figure, dear students, step by step. Please practice it. Then you are going to appear in your drawing sheet with your pencil such a way that this is the final figure. Okay, you have to draw this one. Okay, now finally you have to complete this drawing. So in addition to this drawing, in exam you are going to draw this neatly with this diagram, but you have to take the nearly 15 to 20 minutes to complete this neatly. Okay, so everything is draw proportionately without any dimensions, and give the label perfectly and neatly. Okay, at the same time you can draw practice in this also. This is a real MOCP. Okay, so practice, you are going to draw this also, this and that, but exam you attempt previous one. Okay, so dear students, this is regarding the how to draw the MOCP. Let us conclude what we have seen in this class. So we have seen that the circuit breakers are classified based on the different factors. At the same time, how the based on the oil circuit breakers further classified, and We have compared bulk Al-Sarf breakers and minimum Al-Sarf breakers. We have seen the practical how the BOCB and MOCB in our substation, and in MOCB we have seen constructions, what is the purpose of each part, and we have seen the operation somewhere. At the same time we have drawn this drawing in the form of required point of drawing. Okay, thank you dear students for listening my class.